At the perpetual insanity of the Gospels and the hijacking of them by all the jealous. They don't love Jesus. They don't love David. It's obvious in the Bible. You can tell. Caiaphas, Herod, they betray him. The whole town. Go ahead and kill him. We'll free Barabbas. But he's a murderer and a liar. Yeah. We hate Jesus. He makes us feel like shit. I remember explaining that in the parking lot to a lady in Sierra Vista, talking about, like, no. Yeah, they hated him. Shut the fuck up and never speak again. They crucified him, and they didn't just hang him up there like they did with Spartacus with ropes and stuff. They nailed him to it. Showed you how much they hated him. And there was a large crowd, and if the large crowd could have said, hey, and then you get all these people, they're God's chosen people. They chose to have the Romans crucify Jesus because they were jealous of him. And the Romans, he's their war god that they make into a cartoon character that's better than me, Jesus, or David. John Gotti, the Pope. Forget about it, right? So you got to understand, there is no exclusive group that has them working cornered on jealousy of Muhammad or Jesus or David. They look at the Ayatollahs. They're nothing like Muhammad. But they say they're like him, and then they mass murder in his name. This shows that they hate Muhammad. He thinks he's so special. He thinks he's so good. Like what happened with his two relatives, his two cousins. He's hiding behind a spider web and a dove's nest in a cave, listening to two people he loved talk about how much they fucking hate him. Okay. David had the same thing. Moses had the same thing. Joseph. God's chosen people, the cousins of the Jews, the Canaanites, threw their brother into a pit and sold him as a slave to the Egyptians. They're God's chosen people. If I hear any more of that horse shit, I swear. This, I swear, is true. Like I the other day when that guy laughed at Arby's, when I was talking to those two folks there at Arby's, when I sit there and said, you guys do know that Herod was a Jew and he hunted down Jesus as a baby and tried to kill him. Okay. So this whole God's chosen people thing is bullshit. We are what we do. We're judged by our deed. Only a peewit judges a man by the group and a group by the man, right? That's why I was shooting hoops in the barn. Saladin was telling me, he goes, no, you know how they are. When they get to killing and raping, they're happy and their eyes are growing and they're killing and they're raping and they feel so powerful. And then as soon as you show up and walk in the room, that look on their face, you almost feel sorry for them because they look like a little boy that got caught by his dad and is about to get his ass whooped. They're all, they turn around, they look at you and you feel bad because you see the little boy in them. It's like the pit bull that was killing the chickens that my dad shot between the eyes. Because that's how they are. Okay. They're bloodthirsty and they feel powerful when they're killing and raping. Like, that's horrible, Saladin. He goes, I know. Okay. And then when you show up and they look you in the eye, they look like a little boy. An innocent little boy, because they know dad's going to come kill them because they won't stop raping. Muhammad, I'll never do this again. I promise. I know, and I forgive you. Right? And it's like, I've had so many stories, so many people. Tishna tells me the same thing. All these people, the Apaches and all that. Tishna was like, half the people in my band weren't worth a shit, especially in the Chiricahua band. They were vicious and mean. They cheated on their wives. Their wives would cheat on them because they got tired of it, and then they would cut the tips of their noses off. They'll tell the stories about what happened, but they won't tell the truth about what they did. They'll keep it to themselves. When they went into Mexico and had an affair with a Mexican woman, and then they'll drink themselves to death. Oh, I read the story of Nino Cochise, when he caught his wife screwing around with a Mexican. He cut the tip of her nose off. And then he died an alcoholic because he didn't tell the truth about why his wife cheated on him. Yeah. It's sad. Cochise didn't die an alcoholic, Tishna didn't die an alcoholic, and Taza didn't die an alcoholic, and neither did Nachi, because they didn't cheat on their wives. Do you understand? When a man knows he hasn't lived up to the tradition, he drinks himself to death. Galale. He died drunk in a ditch in Oklahoma. selling his last bow and arrow for booze. Do you understand? All you people, the rest studio, oh, he's a hero to me. They'd spend more money. The American government had to spend more money per capita to hunt him down and kill him than they did the whole Vietnam War. Wow. That's fucking heroic to you? Heroic to me is a man who protects his women and children from becoming monsters that mass murder and use money to mass murder, which isn't real, and kill children for money, or they come back with Apache scalps for money. Cochise is a good shepherd to me. Taza, Nache, James Quelica and his family, Kinete. Okay, and I got lots of people. Crazy Horse, High Hump, He Dog, Little Hawk. For every but then you got No Water, and you got all these murdering assholes. And then they sit around and tell all these sad stories. It's like, did I catch you raping and killing? You look like a little boy about ready to get put to bed by your father, old yeller. Best doggone dog and the rest. You got rabies, right? And, no. Saladin was mad today. Okay? He was very fed up. And Tishna, Tishna is very patient, but he hates abuse. We were thinking about Noah, when Noah was in Sierra Vista, and the psychologists were studying us, and they had bad science projects. And that psychologist sat there and told me, I got the same white lady with short hair that looks like Cloris Leachman. They look like they're cousins. The two psychologists, the one at Natalie's school and the one at Noah's school, the best school for the military people. She sat there and told him, he's a concrete thinker. He's like a Nazi. And I was pissed. I was like, you're saying my son is like a murderer. Okay. That's really creepy, you fucked up lady. And the other teacher was saying, well, I don't think he's a bully. I think he might be a good kid, but he just wants to play video games, and he doesn't want to. No, he doesn't like to do the school stuff. I don't blame him. I don't like to either. Most of it's bullshit. Right? But the reason why, when Miss Summers and Miss Gregory and Miss Rich at the other school that got ran out of town because they were good people, they turned it into a conservative, liberal bullshit war. And I didn't buy into it in Sierra Vista, so they sent me here to buy into it. We got to kill all the conservatives. We liberals got to kill all the conservatives. Y'all need to kill the liar in your heads and stand up for the Lord's Prayer, right, said Fred, instead, okay? They're addicted to fighting. They're addicted to feeling powerful. You just catch them, and it's like, there they are. Yeah. Amy used to do that. She'd screw around, and then when you'd catch her, and then she accused me of doing it all the time. She accused me of having an affair with the librarian when I finally got a hold of Patrick and walked 5 miles or 6 miles round trip to the library just to email him because we didn't have internet at home. We were too broke. I sat there and I said, no, I was private. I was, I didn't want to tell her, but I finally got a hold of Patrick. And so I was excited. So I went to the library excited and came back excited, and she joked with me, you're having an affair with one of the librarians. Yeah, he's 6'4" and he's 16 and he lives in Phoenix, and I'm a homosexual. I'm being facetious, obviously. Pisces Virgo rising is a very good sign, strong and kind, and the little boy is mine. Right? This has been my life story is one of the most amazing life stories in the history of the world. And I had no idea. And then when I found out, I tried to make it less amazing every day. Just stand up for the Lord's Prayer with me. Barack Obama, this ain't going to end good for you. George Bush, nope. Joe Biden, nope. Donald Trump, this ain't good. This isn't going to end good for Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, none of you. You think, I'm one of the most intelligent, important human beings in the history of the world. All these books about my life. And these people are all trying to outmaneuver me and outsmart me and outdo me. It's like, all I want you to do is just live the Lord's Prayer for your children and your wives. I tried to do it anonymously in Sierra Vista. You guys act like you did it, and I will just go blend off, and I will go live in an adobe house with Amy and the kids. And we don't have to do the whole Jennifer Lopez U-turn thing, nothing like that. Everything will be fine. I tried all many times. Just, okay, quietly. Just act like I don't exist. You ran me over in the parking lot of Best Buy. You're now living the Lord's Prayer, and you are the saviors and the apostles. Go Vatican, go Quorum of the 12, go Pentagon, right? And they couldn't, and they wouldn't, because they shouldn't, because it's not them, it's me, and people that love me and are like me. And I know there's more people that love me and are like me in the world than there are, go Pentagon, go Vatican, go Quorum of the 12. Okay. Those are minority, radical, genocidal sects. What about all those people that are taken in by the Pope in El Paso? They have brain damage. The moment they, on a global scale, understand and know who I am, they'll be like, that's Poppy. Everybody knows it. I mean, when you look at Trump still owing money to the Civic Center for, hey, I don't want to get killed going to El Paso. And old Francis the Mule, bad drug dealers, bad. Oh, is that a statue put up? Yes, by little girls we raped to death. That's where the money came from. Oh, well, bad. Thank you for the statue. I mean, come on now. It's my backyard, and they try to poison me to death and threaten me to kill me, and they did horrible things to my family to try to make me look like a pervert or turn into one and start turning into Rockefeller's Manchurian Jesus killing machine. And, oh, yeah, I'm John McCain on a cracker. Fuck. Holy crap on a cracker, right? But I love you guys, man. We'll try to load this one. I'll be surprised if it does. But if it does, we'll see what happens. I don't go left or right, up the middle or nothing. As far as hopes go, I put all my hopes on me fixing the technology because I'm right and they're wrong. I'm good and they're bad and they're lying and I'm the way, the truth, and the life. So I put all my hopes on me. And I just hang in there and I just see where I go. We'll just flow with this. I ain't thinking nothing. I'm just, if I go get disability because I'm not feeling well, I'll use it just to help Dad out as long as he needs me to help him, and then we'll go from there. And if the military and Donald Trump and Las Cruces decides to kill me with chemical poisoning like they do the rest of the poor people, hey, wow, how about them pages in history? Like George Herbert Walker Bush, don't want to be a two-term president. Looks bad in the history. One-term president looks bad in the history books, right? History books, huh? Fucking history books. All right, guys, we're people. We're not books. You can write that you're gravity on a book and other assholes believe it, and they'll give you fake-ass money to fuck over it. That's just batshit crazy. I love you. Peace.